Good evening, class 5. We are already started science revision classes. We have already got the revision videos of the first chapter, food and health. Today I will start with the revision video of the second chapter of your annual exam, that is plant life. Yes. So now see, I will go through the discussion. What are the questions and what are the things you have to emphasize. See, how do plants reproduce? Here in the first page, page 31, fern and mosses reproduce from tiny seeds like called spores. So this is very important for the short one sentence answer or the MCQ. So fern and mosses reproduce from tiny seeds like called spores. Now in the next part, reproduction of the stem. Now eyes of potato, we are seeing the picture of a potato, and a little bit small growth has come out from the body of the potato. Take a potato and observe it carefully. You will find that it has several small buds. So these are called buds and we call them eyes. New plants grow from these buds. So if we keep a potato underground and if you put water to it properly, small buds will come out, and from there new potato tree will grow. Now the ginger plants grow from buds. In this chapter, along with the long question, you will see that many small questions are also there, short questions are also there, which are very important. Now what is stem cutting? Sometimes farmers and gardeners grow new plants from piece of stem. These pieces have one or two buds on them and are called stem cutting. So in China rose and rose, you will see that in shop also a stem is being sold, and over there if you plant it on the soil and if you put water and sunlight, if it get enough sunlight, a new plant will grow from the stem. This process is called stem cutting. Now runner, strawberry and plant, they are having very soft nature of root shoot. We have seen that stems that run along the ground. So it is running along that. So this is, if this is the ground level, the strawberry stem also runs along the ground, and it is very soft in nature, and these are called runners. As it is, why it is called runner? Because it is running along the ground. New plants grow from these runners. Now some plants reproduce from leaves as well, that we will see. The Bryophyllum plants has thick and fleshy leaves. The leaves have buds along the edges. New plants grow from these buds. When the leaves drop down to the ground, the buds grow into adult plant. So what is happening in case of Bryophyllum and Begonia? The leaves are falling, just like every tree, majority of the tree sheds leaves. Like this, the leaf is falling on the ground, and from that leaf a new plant used to come out. Now reproduction of roots. So from here a long question can come, that from what are the different parts from where of a plant, from where new plants can grow. So you have to tell leaves, roots and seeds, etc. Seed we all know that if the process of germination we have already read, that if we put it inside the ground, if we plant it properly with good fertilizer, a new plant will grow. And reproduction of roots, the roots of some plants such as sweet potato and carrot reproduce new plants. So the roots are the main thing what we eat, like sweet potato and carrot, that is the root. Okay, support a sweet potato in a jam bottle. That experiment you can see, and you put some water to it, you will see a new plants have come out. And finally the reproduction of seed, reproduction through seeds. Most of the plants grow from seed, that we know very well. Seeds are usually found inside the fruits. They are in different shapes and size. In new plants grow from the seeds, fall in the soil and germinate. So the process of germination, the process is called germination, and when the plant is coming out, it is a germinated plant. Now next we will see structure of a seed is there. Now structure of a seed, I have given you notes how you will write here. A big one is given. So structure, you can see that there are two cotyledons, a baby shoot and a baby root is there, and the whole when you see a seed as a whole like this is when the seed is open, we can see two petal, two cotyledons, and when the seed is like that, what is this? This is a scar through which water enters from soil, and this is the seed coat, and this is the hole through water where the water is here, water enters, and the scar is, let me see once, yes, carefully remove the seed coat. This seed has two seed leaves called cotyledons, these two. Between the cotyledons is the baby plant called embryo. See, this plant will grow into a bigger one, so this is called embryo. The embryo contains a baby shoot and a baby root. See, so baby shoot and a baby root. The seed leaves protect the baby plant. So seed leaves are protecting the baby plant as the mother protects its baby inside the womb. Like that, the seed leaves are protecting the baby plant. They also store food for the baby plant. All seeds do not have two cotyledons. So some are with one cotyledon, single cotyledon, and another one maybe with two cotyledons. Now next we will see what is germination. Germination, we all know, this definition is very important. The growth of a baby plant from a seed is called germination. The baby plant is called a seedling. So seedling is this baby plant, and the process through which a baby plant grows from a seed is called germination. Now seed, when you will write the structure of a seed for a long question, you must draw this. You have to draw this. Okay, these two pictures as I have given in the, you have practiced a lot in the class like that. Now if I ask the condition, what will you will say? That the condition of germination are the sunlight, the water, and the mineral water, and the air, isn't it? Because through air the plant is receiving the carbon dioxide to prepare its food, and through the sunlight it is impossible to the process of photosynthesis is impossible without sunlight, and the plant or the baby seed which is having all the capacity of becoming a big seed requires mineral water from the soil. So see, these are the basic condition of the plant. Now next in this chapter we will see different types of dispersal. What is dispersal? Dispersal means the movement of the seed. See, if and what will happen if the dispersal will not occur? The scattering of seeds away from the parent plant is called seed dispersal. So when seeds are being dispersed, they are removed from the mother plant or the mother seed, it is called the seed dispersal. Now why seed dispersal is important? Because if all the seeds will grow near, they will not get enough place to grow, and due to the less amount of sunlight, if one tree, suppose this is the ground and over there all the seeds are falling like this very close to each other, what will happen when this tree will grow? This tree will not get enough sunlight. How the sunlight will reach to the small plant? And if this tree will grow bigger, then how this small tree will get the sunlight? So, and it is also about the nutrients what the plant is getting from the minerals from the soil, isn't it? So there will be less amount of minerals and nutrients from the soil, and they will not get enough sunlight to grow, and thus what will happen? There's a high chance of dying of the plant. So if plants grow too close to each other, they will not get enough space with air, water, mineral, and sunlight. Under this condition, they cannot grow into healthy plant. So this can be a question, that why seeds dispersal is important. Then you have to write give reason. In give reason it can come that why dispersal of seed is important. Now you have to write why, that if the seed will not be dispersed from the motherland, and if they will grow very close to each other, there is a great possibility of getting enough nutrients and enough sunlight from the environment, and thus due to the less amount of this, the plants, there is a high chance of dying of the plant. Now the next phase comes different sorts of types of dispersal: wind dispersal, water dispersal, animal dispersal, and explosion, food explosion. So wind dispersal, we know that seeds that are scattered by wind are usually small and light. So something which is floating along with the wind, it is expected that it is very light in nature. Dandelion and cotton, you will see these sort of flowers are floating on the air. Very frequently we can see these dandelions, isn't it? Even in class when I was teaching it, suddenly a dandelion has come inside. I remember some of you have collected it and you have shown it to me. That was a very good gift from the God, that we have seen the dandelion during our teaching and explanation. If I think you remember. Okay, this makes it easy for the wind to carry the seed because it is very light, and some seeds such as maple and drumsticks have wings attached to them which help them to float. Now how birds are flying, they are also flying with the wings. So if a flower is with a wing, what will happen? It will easily be carried by the wind. Next is water dispersal. Water dispersal, they are generally this happens mainly with the plants and seeds which stay in water or which grow in water. Seeds of plants that grow in or near floating water may be dispersed by water. These plants have fruit seeds that can float in water. For example, water lily, lotus, and coconut. They can float on water, and what happens? This makes it light, easy to float because the inside of it is very light and the outer cover is very hard. But the air which are the coconut fruit has air trapped in between its husk. So in the between the branch, the air are stuck, and that's why it becomes very light, and thus it starts floating on the water. Water carries these fruits from one place to the other. Animal dispersal, we all know that we have seen in our terrace, in our garden also. Sometimes we see that eaten mango seed is fallen, or some seed is fallen over there, and from there a new plant is growing. So that is done by the animals. They enjoy eating fleshy fruits such as mango, papaya, cherry, and guava. After eating, we throw these seeds away. This is one way by helping plants to disperse from the main plant. So after eating, the birds used to take it in their mouth and they used to throw somewhere else. And over there, that is covered by the mud, soil, and again new tree comes up. These seeds small and hard, and they come out of the body as waste ready to grow. Seeds of guava and berries are dispersed in this way. So seeds of guava, if you don't like to eat the seeds of the guava, what we do? We used to throw it. And suppose a bird or the any animals is taking it with its mouth and it's keeping it over there, and again from there new plants used to grow. Spines and hooks are also there. Sniff hair, spines and hooks. Some animals in their tails, some animals in their body, they are having sniff hair or stiff hair or spines and hooks. And sometimes it also happens that these are stuck. The seeds of the fruits and vegetables are stuck to their body or to their tail, and after sometimes again it is falling down naturally. Some fruits too have special hook-like structures that clings to the fur or the skin of animals. What is the meaning of cling? To stick or fit tightly onto something. Means when there's a hook, what happens? You are hanging something, so it is being fixed over there. Like that, when any animal's body, there are hook or spines. The seed may be there over there. It is stuck, and again it is being carried far away, and naturally it is dropping. Like that, animals also helps in dispersal. Explosion of fruits. What happened? Explosion means when something is bursting. Fruits of plants such as balsam pea, geranium, and touch me not burst open to explode. What happens when they are enough ripened to eat? They used to burst, and due to the bursting, the seed inside, they used to scatter from one place to the other. So these are the more or less different types of dispersal today we will end here. Next day, in the next class, I will start with crops. So read it, go through it. What are the questions I have discussed? What are the types of dispersal? What is dispersal? Why dispersal is required? What are the conditions of germination, seed structure, the definition of germination, different procedure through which different parts of a plant through which new plants can grow. All these are very important part of the chapter. Next day we will start with different types of crops. Thank you.